Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weeping and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBO Boxing. Back with another video, man. Let everybody know BBO Boxing is back. Definitely come in, smash the like button. I'm in the house with my favorite Puerto Rican, D Free. What's going on, man? How you feeling?
What's good? What's good?
So today, man, we heard some pretty difficult news that Oscar De La Hoya said that he's not going to give Devin Haney a rematch with Ryan. What do you think about that?
Um, I kind of figured that. I mean, you got a whole lawsuit from Devin Haney and Bill Haney going against Oscar and Ryan. It's kind of hard to set up negotiations to rematch a person that you're suing. So that was my whole thing. They want a rematch, but you suing them, and I'm like, how you expect to get a rematch if you suing somebody?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard Bill's interview today on Fight. I think it was Fight Hype. He was just doing what he always do, man, being disingenuous, and it's kind of funny when he go to the bigger outlets. He talk like he got some sense, but when he comes to YouTube, it's a lot of bravado and BS. But I'll say this, man, I'm just shocked that Bill Haney thought he was gonna get a fight after suing somebody. Do you think he'll make this will be worth it in the end?
Say that again. You think that? Do I
I
think
say,
it's
do you think
what?
this would be worth it in the end after all this, suing the guy? And do you think this would be worth it for Devin in the end?
That remains to be seen because it all depends on how this case turns out and what happens behind it. Because if he goes out here and he loses his case and you don't get the rematch and you're not fighting none of the top guys, I don't see how that turned out good for Devin. So it all remains to be seen how the situations unfold after this lawsuit is over with.
Yeah, I definitely say this. I was pretty shocked to see Devin going through this because I really would say um this might really mess his career up because I remember Bernard Hopkins saying that after this fight Devin Haney's career would never be the same. I think Devin Haney might have a better chance with the lawsuit, but I think for far as career wise, he might have put himself like in a place he'll never be able to escape because people don't like to work with nobody who sued him. I couldn't understand why you would think somebody that you sued will want to work with you. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I never was a big fan of the lawsuit, especially when you look at some of the things that he put in the lawsuit that he's suing for. Uh, I'm I'm like, how you expect to win this because you got to prove all of these things that they are actually liable for. Now I can understand you suing Ryan Garcia, but to sue Golden Boy Promotion and put everything on them like they are liable for the things that Ryan is doing. They're only a promotional company. They have nothing to do with what Ryan actions are. They not a sole control of Ryan. They're just his promoter.
And I just think this gonna really prove to be um another blunder by Bill Haney because it's kind of crazy to think a guy who's in the field as much as he is so tone deaf because I really see the fans kind of turn against Devin. Do you kind of feel that same sentiment?
Yeah, a little bit. Like I said, it when you start suing fighters um for battery and stuff like that, I'm like, people look at that, they're like, hold on, how are you suing somebody for battery and y'all fighting? Yeah, that's part of the game. You going to get hit. So how are you suing for battery? So I mean, like they got to look at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is the casuals is finding out about the lawsuit, and
Mhm.
the people that's in the sport of boxing, they looking at it and they like, we never had this happen before. Nobody's never sued anybody for battery. Now, like I said, I can see if it was something grievous that happened in the fight, and you say, you know what, that's not what's supposed to go down in the fight. But yeah, I mean, you still gotta prove, even with the PEDs that Ryan have in the system, you gotta prove that he knowingly took PEDs. What it comes down to is he never got suspended for PEDs.
Yeah.
And I know everybody said, oh well, the supplement, what the PEDs was in the supplement or whatever, but that's not what he got suspended for. He got suspended for not notifying them of the supplement that he was taking. They didn't suspend him for PEDs. He got suspended for not notifying them the supplement. So it's like you got to, even the athletic commission didn't have enough to suspend Ryan for knowingly taking PEDs. So if the athletic commission didn't have enough evidence to suspend him for that, I don't know how you expect to win the lawsuit for it.
It's just one of them things where I say that, and then you hear an Oscar. This really helps, people sympathize with Ryan. And I think that this is just lets you know how like tone deaf Bill is, man, because the last thing you want somebody to do is sympathize, with the person who's doing you wrong. And he's almost, I would say this is very much like you see with what you seen with the past presidential race, where they kept putting him in these bull crap, court cases, and made people say, you know what, he's being done wrong, and Ryan is wrong. Everything that's happening to him is good, but I think Bill was the way he did stuff. You hurt my baby and all that good stuff. I just tell you this, man, it really hurt him overall, and I think that um, unfortunately, man, this is going to be a bad look going forward. And I don't see any way for Devin to kind of escape it. Um, it probably will never happen, but I think he might need to remove Bill from the situation, because I feel like I keep seeing Bill everywhere. Where the hell is Devin? Salute to my man Billy pulling up. Where the hell is Devin, man? I haven't
Yeah.
seen him in 6 months, man. Where's Devin at?
Right. And like I said, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want Devin to win the lawsuit. It's just that's a tall task when you got evidence that's the majority of your evidence that you are trying to use on your side is actually going against you. It's kind of hard of winning the lawsuit. I hope he wins the lawsuit. I just don't think he will because of the evidence that's stacked against him. But when it comes to Devin, and that's some of the stuff that we were talking about last week. And the thing is, I understand Bill is his promoter. Yeah, he's supposed to promote his fighter. But when it comes to speaking about the fighter, at some point the fighter got to come out and be able to speak for itself. You can't hide behind your promoter. That's the thing that everybody was getting on Tank Davis for. Uh, he need to get away from Floyd Mayweather so he could be his own man. So you can't ask for one fighter to get away because Floyd is doing all the talking for him and Floyd is moving him a certain kind of way, and then when it comes to another fighter, he said, "Oh well, that's what the promoter's supposed to do. He's supposed to talk for him." No, you gotta have it even across the board. If you don't want the promoter talking for this fighter, you don't want the promoter talking for no fighter. You want the fighters talking for themselves.
I definitely agree with what you're saying, Billy. I think the assault charge will get thrown out. I'll be honest. I think the whole case is going to get thrown out because it's a frivolous case, man. It's just not a case worth taking. Um, there's nothing that you can say. You talking about assault and battery? This is a doggone fight, man. What the heck are you talking about? It's a doggone fight. It's just, and it
Yeah,
makes Devin look so weak, and I know he's not. That's the part that for me, man, it kind of troubles me to see that they do him like this, man. Why is Bill doing him like this, man? This is just, and we don't talk about the outside the ring stuff with the lady and all that. But bro, I feel like he can't catch a break, man. Devin can't
Yeah,
catch a break.
yeah. I just like that. That's the thing that caught me when I saw the lawsuit and I saw assault and battery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what evidence do you have for assault and battery? Because you can't use the evidence of the PEDs because he didn't even get suspended for that. And then you can't use the evidence of overweight because you took the money for him to be overweight. So it's like, what evidence do you have of assault and battery? I mean, y'all in a boxing match, you going to get hit. And the meaning of assault and battery is unwanted touching. You somebody is hitting you unwantedly.
Mm-hmm.
You signed up to fight. That's not unwantedly. That's something that you signed up for. Now, is your job as a boxer to
Mm-hmm.
be able to defend yourself and not get hit, but it's not saying that you will not get hit. That's part of the actual match. You're gonna get hit at some point in that fight. You're gonna get hit.
Man, this whole thing, I gotta say, this whole thing is kind of getting real bad because I don't think Devin will be able to survive this, man, because it's just too much, man. It's like a whirlwind. His personal life is coming out. This stupid lawsuit. I mean, I don't know what's next for him, but let me ask you this. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. What do you think about the Brandon Figueroa Scooter fight? How do you think that fight's gonna go?
Um, I'm kind of leaning towards Brandon. I don't know if Cool Boy is fully over the knockout that he suffered from Monster Inoue. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
still I think he's still suffering from some of that in his mind because we saw the last fight that he just got in and he got dropped in that fight. So I'm not 100% sure that he's fully over that knockout loss that he suffered from Monster Inoue.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of leaning towards Brandon Figueroa in this fight. I won't be surprised if Cool Boy wins,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm leaning towards Brandon Figueroa because I didn't like what I saw from Cool Boy in the fight right after the Monster Inoue fight. He took a long layoff, and he still got dropped in that fight. So I'm gonna lean towards Brandon Figueroa in the rematch.
So let me ask you this: do you think it's good for these fighters to take 2 year vacations after they make their biggest payday?
Um, I'm not gonna say it's good for them, but I understand because if it's the biggest fight that you've been in, and it's actually a battle, I can understand you put your body through a whole lot of turmoil getting ready for that fight, and then and it was a battle. You need to give yourself a break. Now I ain't gonna say no 2 year layoff. Maybe 6 7 months before you get back to getting yourself ready to get ready for another fight.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to give yourself some time. You're going to take some time off. That's why a lot of times when it is an actual battle and people are getting dropped, people getting beat up in the fight. That's the reason why the boxing association was or the athletic would suspend a person for six
Mm-hmm.
months or 3 months or whatever because they said look he took a lot of beating in that fight even though he might have won the fight he took a beating in that fight, so we don't want him getting right back in the ring. We want him to let his body recover from the action that he was just in.
Yeah, and I just think that you making a lot of sense with that. I just say this, man. That's the thing that I like about certain fighters. Certain fighters can lose and they come right back. We seen, I don't like to talk about him much, but you seen Tio. He lost to George Kambosos. He came right back. I mean, there's no sense. Like we seen Errol Spence get beat to death and then he retired. I mean, I've never seen these guys. I've never seen that in boxing before. You lose and you retire. I mean, look at Jamel. Jamel fought the number one pound for pound guy in Canelo, and he's retired. There's a good chance we'll never see him again. It's
Well,
just it's
Jamel
bad for
said
the
he
sport.
Jamel said he's coming back, and he want the top guys in the division.
He said that a
Um,
year ago.
no, he just said it recently. He just came out and said it recently that he's coming back. I guess 2025, and he's looking to fight the top guys in the division. He said he won his belts back. So I mean, hey, we'll see what happens with Jamel when he comes back.
I mean, he's been gone.
Yeah.
Um, I don't believe he can come into the hottest division in boxing immediately and make noise. I just don't believe that. And I'm a huge fan of his. I mean,
And
I,
I don't understand why Jamel took so much of a layoff because he didn't take a real beating in that. He pretty much stayed away from Canelo so he wouldn't get a beating. So I don't understand why he took such a layoff. I mean, I understand he got paid or whatever, but to take almost a year and a half layoff after having a major payday, I don't understand how you do that. I could see you taking off 8 months or 9 months or something like that before you get right back in there. But to take almost a year and a half layoff before you decide to come back to the sport, I don't know why he did that.
I mean, truth to my man, Tampa Tommy in the house. I just honestly say this, man. I think we really are seeing. I hate to admit this, probably the beginning of the end of our sport, man, because it's getting worse and worse, man. I don't see any good news on the horizon. Do you?
As far as good news, like what?
There's no other than Emiliano Vargas or Abdullah Mason. I really don't see no great young guys coming up anyway.
No, there's a lot of good young guys that's coming up. You gotta broaden your horizon. Like we get so stuck on looking at the names that's been put around in the sport. That's why a lot of times I go watch these pro box fights. I watch some of these ESPN fights that's done on Saturday that nobody's talking about, or even some of the zone fights that nobody's talking about because it's some good young fighters that nobody is speaking on, and that's why a lot of times when we be talking about these fighters, and I say, yeah, I seen him fight before. I'm not sure if this is going to be an easy win because some of these guys actually can fight. It's just they not getting talked about.
Like I heard that guy Bachman has been trying to unify the 54 belts, and nobody will do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying people are ducking them. I think people are looking for bigger money fights. Because we saw what happened with the Tim Zoo fight. He's not going to be an easy win for none of those guys that's a champion at 54. And I think a lot of those people, a lot of those champions right now, they're looking for the bigger money fight. Um, because there's bigger money fights to unify than it is unifying with him. Now, unifying with him is going to be a decent payday, but if you go unify with Bud Crawford, it's a bigger money fight. If you go unify with Sebastian Findor, it's a bigger money fight. So, I mean, if Sebastian Fedor and Bud Crawford go ahead and unify with each other, that's a bigger money fight for them than taking the bathroom fight. It's a unification, but it's not a big money fight. So, and even like the Sebastian Fedor, he looking to take the Earl Spence fight because it's a big money fight. It's not a unification, but it's a big money fight.
Salute to my man Mike Garner pulling up. I just don't like even when we talk about the Errol Spence fight. How does Errol Spence get to go to the front of the line? He been out the ring 2 years, man.
He gets to go to the front of the line because of the simple fact that he's a money man, not money man for the division. But when you fight Earl Spence, it's going to be big money, especially when you have a guy from Mexico that's fighting a guy who's a big money fight in Texas. He's from Texas, and people are going to come out to see Earl Spence fight in Texas. So you got Mexico and Texas, which is right there at the border of Mexico.
Mhm.
That's a big money fight. Now you got a guy like Bud Crawford, who you say, you know what, that should be a better fight for a unification. Bud Crawford doesn't draw the fans that Earl Spence draw. So when you have a champion that's looking to get paid, and he said, okay, I could go unify with him
Hmm.
and it'd be a good fight and it'd be a decent payday, or I can go fight this guy who I know is an actual draw, and the state of Texas is going to come out to watch him fight, and my country of Mexico is going to watch me fight. It's going to be a big money fight. So that's the reason why he's at the front of the line, not because not like the sense of it's almost the same as the Jaime McGear versus Canelo. Canelo took the Jaime McGear fight because it was two Mexicans that had the Mexican fan base behind them fighting against each other. It was going to be a big money fight for Canelo. Now I think the David Benavidez might have been a bigger money fight, but that's the reason why Canelo took it. It was a Mexican versus a Mexican. Both of them have a big Mexican fan base, so he took the Jaime McGear fight.
Yeah, I salute my man, my gunner. I didn't know he had anything going on with his wife. I thought they had reconciled. And I tell you what, man, Jamel and Jamal both, God dang, bro. When it come to like chicks, bro, they if they didn't have bad luck, they would have no luck. I mean,
Uh, Jamel didn't get locked up. He got arrested. He didn't get locked up. He got arrested, and that stuff was already over and done with. I think that stuff was over and done with like a month or two after the whole situation happened. Um, so that I didn't have nothing to play with why he stood out so long. Because if it was stuff still going on with Jamel, as far as that whole situation, you would have heard about it. That stuff was over and done with. I think like a month or two after that whole situation happened. But he never got locked up. He just got arrested, and I think he got out the same day, or might have been the next day.
yeah, it's just I tell you what, bro. I just feel like this whole new age of boxing has been like a soap opera, man, because all you hear about is like what brothers got going on at home. You hear more about that than you hear about the fights. But I say this. One thing I was wondering is, we getting ready for our awards tomorrow. I wanted to ask you this, man. No, it was that Wednesday. I wanted
Wednesday.
to ask you this, man. Do you think Turkey taking over boxing is good for the sport, or is it bad for the sport?
Um, it will be good for the sport if we're getting the fights that we want to see, and those fights are being put on in America. Now, some of them can be put over there in Saudi Arabia because he wanted to promote his country and all that, but not all of them. I could see one or two here and there, but when you have the big name fighters where most of their fan base is in one country, you want to put that fight on in that country. Now, I only know of maybe one or two fighters that's actually from Saudi Arabia that's fighting in the pros that has a name. But I don't know that many that fights in Saudi Arabia. So it it will be good if he gets the fight that I mean, he could put on a fight that everybody is calling to see, or at least some entertaining fights. It might not be the fights that we want at that moment, but it's an entertaining fight. But he got to be able to put them on in America, because he did that fight with Bud Crawford, and then he was like, "Man, I'm taking my minutes back over to Saudi Arabia." So as you see, all of these fights that he's been doing as of late is going to be in Saudi Arabia, or they were already in Saudi Arabia. So he only put one fight on that I know of in America. So all the
Yeah.
rest of them is in Saudi Arabia. So that's the thing that I see is bad. And I know, like Pride said, I don't care if it got to be in Saudi Arabia as long as the fights that I want to see. Yeah, you might say that now until you wake up one day and you realize there's a fight that's happening that you want to go to, or you probably had the opportunity to go to, but now you can't go because it's in Saudi Arabia, or it's a big fight that's going to happen, but then you got the Super Bowl going on at the same time, because the Super Bowl is going to be on Sunday and the Saudi Arabia fight is going to be on Sunday in the afternoon. So you watching the Saudi Arabia fight, and then you got to cut off the main event because the Super Bowl is happening. So I mean, it all remains to be seen. Me personally, I don't think it's going to be good for the sport of boxing. I think as some of it can be good, but I don't think it's going to overall be good for the sport of boxing because he's mainly doing it to promote Saudi Arabia. He's not doing it for the good of boxing.
Took my man Showtime, the guy. Um, Mike said, I'm not saying he went to jail. I'm saying he had domestic problems. That's why we haven't heard in quite a while. I get what you're saying, Billy, about Turkey being bad with matchmaking, but I'll say this, man. I think it's good because it would. I got to be honest. When I seen Jamel, not Jamel, I don't know why I said Jamel, but Big Baby Anderson get beat to death by Piccoli, it was good for the sport because it was just to see who's the best. You can make somebody look like they're the best if you matchmaking. You really can make somebody look like they're the best and they not. So I appreciate what Turkey's doing. We seen Anthony Joshua get beat to death. We seen Tyson Fury, who we thought was the man. He didn't got rung twice. He didn't got rung twice. I mean, the Ukrainian didn't beat him to death twice. Almost stopped him the first fight. So for
Yeah.
me, I'm real proud of what Turkey's doing, man. And I just say this, man, it's good for the sport overall, bro. You gotta literally think about it. Like, I'm so tired of this matchmaking BS. Errol Spence is a product of matchmaking. Why you think they keep thumbing away from Errol Spence? He would have
No,
effed him up.
I'm
That's
gonna
exactly
tell.
what happened. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna tell you like this. Uh, it it's not a product of matchmaking. It's actually like Earl Spence. You could say he's a product of matchmaking, but when you look at Earl Spence fight, he wasn't in fights that you say, you know what, Earl Spence is definitely going to win this fight. For the most part, it was some of them that he was in. You said, yeah, Earl going to win this fight. But for the once he became champion, outside of the what was the mandatory that he had earlier in his reign of being a champ, the IBF champion, he wasn't in fights that you say, you know what, Earl definitely going to win this fight. He was like, hey, Earl can win or Earl can lose this fight. The Earl Spence versus Sean Porter, Earl Spence could have lost that fight if he didn't have that knockdown. He could have very well lost that fight. The the Danny Garcia, if Earl Spence wasn't on top of his game, he could have lost that fight. The Ugas fight, if Earl Spence didn't step on the gas, he could have lost that fight. So it wasn't, he wasn't all the way always just overly matched against these opponents. It was just some of them he was overly matched, but nah. I mean, but when you look at like I understand what Billy's saying because everybody was so big about that heavyweight card that he put on. That card was trash. The card was absolute trash. None of the fights on there were fights that you wanted to see. These guys was fighting on the same card, and you were like, okay, they fight on the same card, but why they not fighting each other? You had AJ and Wilder fighting on the same card instead of fighting each other. You had these other guys that was matched in that fight that it should have been their opponents fighting each other and them two fighting each other. So it was a trash card. It was some good names on there, but the card was trash. The card was trash. It was
Shout
good
out to
names,
Puerto Rican
but the
free.
card
He
was
gonna tell you.
trash.
He gonna tell you how you feel. But hey, guys, we trying to build a channel. So we just looking for 3 appreciations. That's it. Three. It doesn't matter the number. Just 3 appreciations, man. You can send us $1, man. But we just looking to get 3 appreciations. We trying to help grow the channel. So anything you guys like to do is perfect. I appreciate you guys. But I won't go as far as free and say the car was trash.
No, that card was
Free.
trash. What fight? What fight on that card? You say, you know what? That was a good fight. What fight?
None of them.
None. Exactly. The card was trash. It was some good names on there, but that card was trash.
I get what you said. I just say this. Only reason I won't say the card is trash is because you really seen Turkey trying to put fights together that never could happen. Um, let's just be honest here. Anthony Joshua really waited Deontay Wilder out till he got old. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Now that Deontay's old, now all of a sudden he's game to fight him. Cut the cap. Cut the cap. Like, you ain't want no parts of that man when he was in his prime or ready to rumble. But now that he old as Methuselah, now you want to fight him. I mean, I don't know. He said, you know, it was trash because nobody was talking about it afterwards. It
Exactly.
wasn't.
Nobody talked about it.
Nobody
Not near,
talking.
not near one of those cards are on anybody awards or ceremony as one of the best fights or the comeback fight or fighter of the year. Not near one of the fights on those cards. Not near one of them. Nobody talking about that card at all. Matter of fact,
And
you get more talk about the Bud Crawford card than you do the heavyweight card. That 5-on-5. Oh no, not the 5-on-5. The heavyweight. You get more talk about the 5-on-5 than you do that card. No, nobody talks about that card. No, that joint, dog. Like I said, I'm not mad at what Turkey is trying to do, but when these guys are fighting and getting money for their fights, not all of these guys are going to just jump out the window because you throw some money in their face. Not all of them, because some of these guys are already getting money anyway. They're like, okay, yeah, you offering some money, but you got to offer us a little bit more than that for us to go out of our country to go fight in your country in the middle of a day where our fans got to watch us fight in the middle of the day. What a lot of people don't understand when, like, a lot of people say, oh, but we still getting the fight. But if you got uh, 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 a highly watched, like the daggone college football games is going on Saturday for the playoffs. If you got that going on at the same time as one of these fights going on, a lot of time, most likely, people are going to be watching the football game because some of these people are going to be able to go to the actual game and they're accustomed to watching the football playoff. They're not accustomed to watching boxing in the afternoon. They're accustomed to watching boxing on a Saturday night, not Saturday afternoon. So that's why you lose some of those viewership. And Turkey is not giving them any of the back end money. That pay-per-view, all those pay-per-view buys and all that stuff, that goes directly to Turkey. He gives them a flat fee. The $5 million that Shakur was going to get for Joe Cordina, that was a flat fee that Shakur was going to get. He wasn't getting any back end money. There was no back end money for none of these fighters. You don't hear none of these guys talking about they got this amount on the back end. No, they get a flat fee. Whatever the flat fee is, that's what you're getting. If he offered you $10 million, you're getting $10 million. You're not getting anything over top of that. He said Turkey is trying to make it like the UFC,
we
saying
understand.
I paid $5 million or $10 million and that's it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's only giving them a flat fee, but if it's a big money fight and this fight can be on pay-per-view, and let's say he gives them $5 million, but that fight generates 700,000 pay-per-view buys. Well, that $5 million is less than what those fighters would have got in the pay-per-view buys. That $5 million is less than that.
But I think it's good though, free, because I think the only thing that kind of sucks is that we dealing with, fighters fighting like once or twice a year. I mean, it's so many guys on PBC I didn't get to see this year. It's like,
No, it's good. It's good for the guys that doesn't make those big bags like that. It's
yeah.
good for them. Yeah, it's good for them.
But like a
But
Tank or a Canelo, you'll never probably see them on that card because they don't need it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you're trying to get the Bud Crawford versus Canelo, that's why Canelo said, okay, you want me to do this? You gotta give me 150 million, 200 million. You gotta pay me. You gotta pay me because who knows what this pay-per-view can do. This pay-per-view might end up doing 1.5 or $2 million. Who knows? We don't know what the pay-per-view do. We could guess what we think it's going to do. Nobody guessed that Tank and Ryan was going to do 1.2. A lot of people said that, hey, it might do a million pay-per-view. Some people said it might do 500,000. nobody actually knew that it was going to do 1.2. And then the Bud Crawford and Earl Spence fight happened, and it did what 650, 700,000.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know exactly what the pay per view is going to do. It all depends on the fan base, who's intrigued to see that fight. If the fans are highly intrigued to see that fight, it very well can do good pay per views. It could, but we don't know. It very well could not do good pay per views. So I mean, it's a gamble, but like I said, if you go over there and you fight on a turkey card, and let's say you are the main event, and you fight on that turkey card, and he gives you $10 million, but then you hear that the pay per view numbers were somewhere around 900,000, and you got 10 million on that pay per view. I mean, you got 10 million for the fight. You just lost out on money that you could have possibly brought into your own pocket.
I'll put it like this though, Free. You doing like we always do, man. You being too harsh.
No,
Um,
I'm being honest. That's exactly what it is.
let me finish, Free. Like I say, you being too harsh, like you always are. Because I think you don't understand. It seems like every time you watch a pay per view, it's like a going out of business sale, and I think that's not good for the sport. I mean, we seen Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, right? And that was it. We didn't see nothing else. That's bad for the sport, man. That can't be good for the sport. And you got Bill Haney talking about Turkey gonna pay me, he gonna pay my son $5 million to fight Tio. Tio ain't worth $5 million with $5 million in his pocket. So it's like,
Okay.
what are we talking about? You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Let me say this then. Since you said that, let's say these guys go over there and Turkey give them. They normally will make somewhere like let's say Tio. He normally
Mhm,
would get $1 million for a fight, but he put on a Devin and Tio fight, and they both get $10 million for the fight,
mhm.
and then we don't see these dudes for another year or two because they got a big payday, and they're like, you know what, I ain't got to get back in the fight game just yet. I got money I can sit on. We have the same situation as having them fight on pay per view, making a big bag. It doesn't matter how they get the big bag.
You talking
They
about the
got a big
mindset? I
bag.
got you. The
Yeah,
mindset is
it
different.
doesn't matter how they got the big bag. They got the big bag.
That's a good point.
So it doesn't really matter. Like he's throwing money out, and it's more likely that these dudes would take some time off when they're not used to getting that money
Yeah.
than a fight that they normally would get paid what their actual value is, and they will have to fight again because they're not getting paid that big bag because they're not a draw like that. So if you put a fighter, let's say Kid Austin, for example, Kid Austin, I think the most he ever got was somewhere around maybe $80,000 a fight, maybe less than that. You put Kid Austin in a fight where he gets $5 million to fight somebody, fight Joe Cordino, somebody. You giving him $5 million. And then Kid also say, you know what? I'm gonna take some time off. I just got paid $5 million. I ain't never made this much money. Now this fighter is not fighting, and he's looked at as somewhat of a prospect, but now he's not fighting because he got a big bag in a fight where he should have got a big bag.
I can see what you said. Michael Garner said take Devin versus Tio. Bob offered them 45. If they threw 300K, Devin would get about 8 million. That's 3 million more than Turkey would get him. Um,
Yeah,
that's a
and
good point.
I think
Look,
I think I think that I think they would do somewhere between 3 to 500,000. I
you
think
think
they would do
so?
somewhere. I think they would do somewhere between 300,000 and 500,000 because I understand. Well, y'all don't know what To brings in. He never fought on pay per view. Well, we understand that we don't actually know. That's why we're guessing what they could bring in. But when you have a fight where it's history behind these two individuals and they going at each other at the press conference, it draws the fans in to want to see what's going to happen in this fight. We know there's history behind Devin and To. We know that Bill likes to talk crazy and T.O. father likes to talk crazy. We know T.O. likes to talk crazy, and we know Devin is going to go back and forth with T.O. So it's a is the making for a great buildup is there for the fans to be drawn into that fight. So that's why I say I believe it's going to do somewhere between 300 to 500,000 pay-per-view buys. This can be Devin's Ryan Garcia. Devin never did more than 150,000 pay-per-view. We
I'll
don't know
say
what the
this.
numbers was. We don't know what the numbers was from Oscar because according to Oscar was the fight didn't sell. You got all the money that you was going to get. He never
Yeah.
actually came out and said what the numbers was. People speculating what the numbers is, but they never came out and said what the actual numbers were. So the numbers that we do know of was 150,000, and Bob said I barely broke even. So we do know 150,000 is the most that Devin has ever done. So this can very well be Devin Haney's Ryan Garcia fighting Tio.
Um, Thomas Till. Um, and that's a good point too that you just brought up, bro. Turkey is not drug testing either. Um, it's been reported that he doesn't have body testing when he's getting these guys off for fights. And I want to speak about this. I'm glad we got my man, we got my guy Thomas Hill in the house because he know a little bit about drug cheats. So my question is this, Free. When you hear David Benavidez say he almost had to pull out the fight to get David Morrell the drug test, does this prove that David Morrell has something fishy going on? What do you think?
No, it doesn't prove it. I mean, I mean, only way it proves that Morrell might have something going on is if he popped dirty or he said, you know what, I'm not taking no drug testing. Now, if he popped dirty or he said, you know what, I'm not fighting him because I'm not taking no drug test, then we have something to talk about. I'm like, hey, hold up, why are you not taking a drug test? I'm one of these guys that believe that you can beat them solely off of your skills. Why are you not taking a drug test? Are you doing something that you ain't supposed to be doing? So I
That's
don't
a
I
good
don't
point, man.
necessarily I don't necessarily mean it, I don't necessarily think that it means that he's taking drug testing. I mean, he's doing something shady behind the scenes. I mean, it very well could be. I just don't think that it necessarily means that.
I'll say this: we got to keep in mind this about Teofimo Lopez. I got to say the truth. Um, they use Xander Zayas to sell out the Hooping Arena. Um, it's not a mystery. Tio might be super talented, but he can't sell a glass of water to somebody in the desert. We've seen it. He couldn't pack out the hula room that hold maybe 4,500 people, maybe. And we've seen it jam packed for verses where they had people saying we should have brought it to the big room. So I just
Yeah,
think, yeah, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear
And
you.
I think overall, I think it's real bad for the sport if we not being honest. And Tio is not a draw. Um, I,
I'm not
I I
saying
can't.
Tio's a draw
No,
by
no,
no
I'm, no. I'm
by
saying so. What I'm saying like there's no way you're going to get 300,000 because he's not a draw. And Devin has shown not to be a draw. You talking about you guaranteeing yourself to lose a lot of money to put yourself behind those guys. Salute the Melon Queen pulling through. I just
no,
think
but
it's just not a good idea. Go ahead.
no, but see that's the beauty. Like Devin Haney has his own promotional company.
Hmm.
That's the beauty in behind making making this pay-per-view fight. You have the ability to promote your own fight. I'm not
Hmm.
saying that T.O. is a huge draw like that because, like you said, T.O. couldn't pack out the Hulu theater, and that very well could be because it was Josh Taylor. Nobody was interested in seeing T.O. fight Josh Taylor, or they might have thought that T.O. was jumping a gun by getting in the ring with Josh Taylor. They probably thought T.O. like a lot of fans probably thought T.O. was going to get beat up by Josh Taylor, so they wasn't paying to see it. We don't know what was the reason why they couldn't sell out the small venue at the Madison Square Garden because Josh Taylor was a big name from the UK. It's not like Josh Taylor wasn't a big name. So we don't know what was the circumstance or why they couldn't sell out that arena, and it could have very well just been bad promotional. They
I,
probably
I see I seen
didn't
those
sell that
posters though,
fight.
man. They had Xander just as big as Tio.
No,
Um,
I'm not saying that it was bad promotion. I'm saying it could have been bad promotion. I'm not saying I don't know why that fight was unable to sell because like I said, Josh Taylor was a big name from the UK. And the UK they follow their fans. So it's not like they don't follow their fans. They have Josh Taylor has a huge fan base. But
oh, hold on one second. We got
um
my man B3 in the house, Captain. I gotta read it. He said, "Salute to the doghouse. People want to see the fight. It won't be the fight. The people stream who support a racist and a crybaby sore loser."
But
Hello.
I'm not gonna sit here and just say that fight is not gonna do good because like I said, we didn't know what Ryan was gonna do with Tank Davis because Ryan has never fought on pay-per-view. Ryan has never sold out an arena by himself. But when he got with Tank Davis, they did 1.2 million. Ryan has never did that again. So it was a fight. It was a fight that the fans was intrigued to see because they didn't necessarily really know what the outcome was. They knew there was a possibility that Tank was going to knock Ryan out, but they knew there was also a possibility that Tank could get hit with one of Ryan punches and could very well go down. So they was interested in seeing what was going to happen. That's why so many people bought the fight. So you don't know how the fans are looking. We're going according to what we're talking about on YouTube. We don't know
Mhm.
what the casuals are thinking about out there. We just only know about what's going on in YouTube, how y'all view it and how we view it. Nobody's talking to all of the casuals in the world and they say, oh, you know what? We don't want to see T.O. versus Devin. We don't know that. We're only going by what we see on YouTube.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I knew that Ryan versus Tank was going to be big because people was looking at it as Oscar versus Floyd again. You seen Tank come out the fight before with the Floyd trunks with the sombrero and the same type of Mexican trunks. So they kind of recreated an old fight. So I think that fight did well because of Oscar and Floyd. So it's one of them
Yeah,
things,
I
man. We
mean,
got to
it was part of that build up too. It was part of that. I mean, they was part of the build up for the fight. Oscar versus Floyd, and then you had the whole situation between Tank and Floyd, like they always do. They always beefing before the fights and stuff like that. So it's always something that builds, but you have to have a build up to the fight to make people want to see what's going to happen in that fight. If you don't have no build up, then yeah, the fight ain't gonna do that daggone well. It's not because you ain't got no build up.
my only question is when I hear one thing I always hear about Floyd is jealous. What is Floyd? What can Floyd be jealous of? When he got
somebody
all the money?
somebody out somebody out doing what he did. I mean that's what you have to be jealous of. So, Tank Davis very well. If Tank Davis decides not to retire and further go on with his career, Tank can possibly very well outdo Floyd as far as becoming 50-0 and being and retiring undefeated because Tank Davis has been a pay per view star since what what fight was it that he first fought on pay per view? Was it
He
the
fought on
Leo
the Conor
Santa Cruz
McGregor fight.
fight?
The Conor McGregor
Huh?
fight. Someone he was on a Conor McGregor undercard fight where he missed weight.
No, no, no,
That's
no,
the first
no.
time I
I'm talking.
seen.
No, that's not Tank Davis fighting for pay per view. That's Tank Davis fighting on undercard. I'm talking about him headlining. I think it was the Leo Santa Cruz was the first fight that he headlined a card. I think it was Leo Santa Cruz, and then Tank Davis been headlining his own pay per views ever since. I think it was Leo Santa Cruz. It might have been a fight right before that, but I think it was Leo Santa Cruz was the first fight that he headlined his own pay per view, and he's been headlining pay per views ever since. And Tank
Yeah,
Davis has became a pay per view attraction. He hasn't fought on free TV since he became a pay per view attraction. So I'm not saying he's going to do the pay per view numbers of a Floyd Mayweather, but far as people like Tank Davis get the Loma, get the Shakors, the Devins, the T.O.s, they can't talk about Tank Davis' resume anymore. So
yeah,
now you
yeah.
look
That's
at
the
what is
point.
Tank yeah what is Tank Davis doing in his career? Well, he fought all the top guys. He knocked out just about everybody he's fought, hey, you know what? He might have a better career than Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, Floyd Mayweather did better numbers than him, but we
No, I
know
think the
it's it's
competition is
it's.
different.
I mean, the competition is different. We can't downplay Tank Davis' competition because Tank Davis can't fight the time when Floyd was fighting. Tank Davis can
Floyd
only
beat a lot
fight
of
the
Hall of
people that.
Famers, free. That's what
No,
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying, I mean, he fought guys who we believe was going to go to the Hall of Fame at that time. They wasn't Hall of Famers when
And
he fought them.
they did go. And they went free. That's what I'm
No,
saying.
yeah. So what I'm saying is, if Tank Davis fight the top guys that we believe are going to go to the Hall of Fame, and then they do go to the Hall of Fame, you would say, oh, well, Tank Davis fought all these Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Those guys that Floyd was fighting wasn't Hall of Famers when Floyd fought them. We believed that they was going to go to the Hall of Fame, and
Yeah, I
then
see what
some
you're
of them
saying.
did go. So
Yeah, I'm
we,
about to
we can
say, but they
only go
did go
by
though.
the level of competition that's in front of them. The same thing that we said about Usyk the other night. I can't I can't say Usyk is the greatest heavyweight of all time, but I can put him up there with some of the greats because he only can fight the level of competition that's in front of him. It's not his fault the level of competition was bad when he was fighting. That's not his fault. He can only fight what's in front of him. So the same thing for Tank Davis. It's not his fault. These guys are not the same caliber of guys of when Floyd was fighting, but these are the best guys of this time. So
That's a good
he's
point. I'll
fighting the
give you
guys
that.
of,
That's a
of
good
his
point.
time.
I get what you're saying. I'm just more or less saying, and you know what? I could be honest. It may be sometimes you get so frustrated with Floyd. I'll be honest. I get so frustrated with him that I gotta take a second. And you all right. If he did fight certain fights, we would think that we would think different. So I got to give you that. That's a good point because, like I said, sometimes we get so frustrated. At least I do. I get so frustrated to see a guy this talented not fighting the guys you necessarily want him to see, that maybe I'm overcritical at times. I don't know if you, I won't say that about you, but some of us are overcritical because we want to see him in certain fights that we haven't seen yet. So you make a
I
great
mean,
point. You make a great point on that one. You make a good point on that one. I got to give you
yeah,
that.
it's like I said, it's understandable. We want the fights when we want them, but like I said, even back in the day, you didn't get all the fights that you wanted when you wanted it. You got them, or you got some of them, but you didn't get them when you wanted it. The only fight that I could say we got when we wanted it was Tommy Hearns and Sugar Ray Leonard, because both of those guys was what in their mid 20s or early 20s, and they both was the top of the at the top of the game. That's the
Mhm.
only fight that I can honestly say we got that fight when we wanted it. I can't
Yeah.
think of too many other fights we got
You
when we
don't think
wanted it.
Duran Leonard was right when people wanted it?
I don't think a lot of people was calling for Duran and Leonard.
I don't think nobody was. I know that. I give you that. No
Yeah,
one
I
was.
don't think nobody was calling for it. So we got it, but I don't think a lot of people was calling for it. He said at 30, who was Floyd supposed to fight and he avoided or took the easy same side of the street. I don't know. I don't know. I,
Well,
I
you got
I
to
would have to
remember he
go
was
back
with
and look.
Golden Boy. See, that's the thing you missing, B3. He was with Golden Boy. And when Golden Boy was there, Golden Boy had Al Heyman. Golden Boy had all the fighters you seen on P. Well, a lot of them is retired now, but all the great guys you seen on PBC. Floyd, I think. Let me see. I'm pulling it up right now. He promoted 15 fights with Floyd, and he pretty much fed the whole roster to Floyd. You really won't see that because they don't usually do that. So really, you got to
Yeah,
give Oscar his credit for doing that. That wasn't just Floyd and Al Heyman. That was the Golden Boy who said, "You know, I'm gonna make you the greatest fighter in the world." And let's be honest, Oscar has said it a million times. I can't stand Floyd. I can't wait to go to his funeral. But he's the greatest fighter I've ever seen. I
and like I
mean,
said, I
better
can't,
than-
I can't, I can't fault Tank for what Leonard Ellaby and Floyd did. That was his promoter. Those were the guys that was making the fights
that's
for
not
him.
their fault. Free.
No, it is their fault because they are the ones that's making the fight.
Free. You told me
They're,
the
they're
fighter was the boss. You
no,
switching up.
I didn't say the fighter was the boss. I've
You
never
did.
told you that the fight.
You said the
I've
fighter.
never
You
told
said
you the
you said
dog.
the promotional team worked for the fighter.
No, I've never told you that. I said that's what people say. They said the
Oh,
promotional
okay,
team
my
worked for
mistake.
the fighter. I've never said that because
Okay, my
I
mistake. I
know
thought you
when
said
you
okay.
sign a
You said
contract
the other
to
thing.
I know when you sign a contract to a promotional company, you are an employee of that promotional company. You're an employee of that promotional company. When you sign a contract to them, you are an employee of them. Now you could say, no, I'm not fighting that fight, but they don't have to make no fights for you. Who you going to fight if they don't make no fights for you? Nobody.
I'm gonna say
They
this
got
though,
to make the
Free.
fights.
I'm gonna say this though, Free. Devin Haney did really well in that Ryan fight. If people say he didn't, they don't know ish about boxing because I mean, let's be honest. If it wasn't for those left hooks and those, I mean, Devin was going right to bed every time he got touched. Let's be honest here, man. That fight, man, Devin probably could have won that fight. If he
Yeah,
would have
he
had
would
his
have won.
defense together, he could have won that fight easy.
No,
So to say so
one less knockdown, Devin wins that fight. One less knockdown, he wins that fight.
easy, easy. And I totally agree with that because Ryan was drained and he looked bad. I don't care what nobody said. He looked real bad in that fight. So I'm not gonna chip on it. It is what it is. But I'm gonna ask you this before we get out of here, man. Because we gonna do some big shows coming up. Now, seeing what you're seeing in boxing, what would you rate?
Hold up. Before we move on, I was on mute, didn't even know it.
Say it
Let me
again.
say a couple of things. I was on mute and didn't even know it.
Oh, okay. I thought I
Things.
know what was going on with you, bro.
Yeah, dog. I came in here with a white mic, and I came and looked down. I was on the red mic. I'm talking, and ain't nobody acknowledging me. So I'm going to speak right now.
We need to hear you to speak. We said
Go
TM.
ahead,
We need you to
Solomon.
speak on that.
Bro, you've been censoring me left and right, so I don't know if I fell out of
That's
grace or
cap.
favor with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the CDO comment resonated too hard with you, but I'm gonna say this though. I think my man Free is pretty much spot on, and I agree with what you're saying about getting the fights and having the fights. I think the reason why a lot of the fights happened back then was because of this, and I'm gonna say, you remember when you used to get a grab bag off the ice cream truck?
Yeah.
How much them bad boys cost?
There's like maybe 50 cents.
For me, they was 25 cents. You know how much them bad boys go for now?
Probably $3.
Man, $2.75 for a little bitty ass grab bag, dog. That once cost a quarter for me. And when it cost a quarter, niggas was making fights, and they was making fights a lot because that's how they were supporting their family. I'm sorry for saying the N word, but that's how they were supporting their family. And on top of that, it was less participation from powers that be. Now, what Free also says about, unfortunately, when you sign on to a promotional company, you're their boss. I'm gonna say why. Because when you go to H&R Block or Allstate or wherever Jake from State Farm is at, dog, guess who's paying the checks? Not Jake from State Farm. He's making the bread for them. It's the niggas at State Farm. I mean, it's the people at State Farm that's paying the check. So therefore, in the fight game, it's the same thing. These people are fighting for them because they're putting up the bread. And we who has the gold rules. So unfortunately, that's what we're in. We're in a time and age where people fight less because they make more. The value of a dollar is less, but they get more of the dollars to throw their way so that people can look to aspire to be like them. Floyd gets upset sometimes because in this modern way of boxing, he kind of have his blueprint on there. He has his DNA stamping on this. Like, I'm the reason why boxing gets this much money. I'm the reason why boxing is in demand. And for a great degree, he is true. Because people did tune in and watch his fight, and they hated him and they loved him. And because they hated him, they wanted to see him lose. Because they loved him, they cheered to see him win. Therefore, you got eyes on him. Tank inherited some of that hate. When we look at it, man, he can't fight people because of the way the structure of the thing is now. People want the greater piece of the pie. So if we put on a fight, we want to get much of the money as possible. So if we're going to make a fight, it's best we make a fight within our own umbrella. And that right there is a great reason why we're not getting a lot of these fights. That being said, Tank gets a lot of the hate because people attributed it to a great deal. His success is in part to his affiliation with Mayweather. If he's not into Mayweather, he might be a good fighter, very great fighter, but maybe not have that exposure on him. So because he got that exposure, he also inherited a little bit of that, that fandom, whether it be for him or against him. What was
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
No,
I mean,
go ahead.
and also like you have to remember too, and when V3 was talking about who did Floyd avoid it. Well, you got to remember a lot of times these fights don't get made because of the business of boxing. Certain promotional companies, they want to have the sole the sole rights to the fight, and they like, well, we're not sending our fighter over there because we want to make money off our fighter. We don't only want you to make money off the fighter. So sometimes the business of boxing gets in the way of certain fights happening. So that's why I was so on Shakur for not taking a fight with Tank Davis in November. And he said, "Oh, well, he wanted a three fight deal or a multi fight deal. Why PBC couldn't get it? Because the only fight that they had for Shakur at that time was Tank Davis. Who else they going to give Shakur to fight on PBC? Who else do they have for Shakur to fight right at that time? Their only interest was to try to find a fight for Tank Davis because Loma pulled out. So they only looking to get a fight for Tank Davis at that time. If you want to talk about a multi-fight deal, let's make the fight with Tank Davis, and we could talk about that at a later date. But they were trying to get a fight for Tank Davis, so that's why I was on Shakur for not taking that fight. And people like, oh, well, we don't know if that. Well, Stephen Espinoza came out and said what the deal was. I haven't heard Stephen Espinoza been caught in a lie before. I mean, if you got a lie that he been caught in, let me know because I haven't seen him caught in a lie before. Everything that he pretty much said has been almost exactly what it was. We saw
Isn't
the
it spot
whole
on
Bud
that?
Crawford situation. They said Bud Crawford was playing hardball, and we found out that Bud Crawford was playing hardball. So it just certain fights doesn't happen because of the sport of boxing. People want certain things and it can't go down the way they want it, so things don't happen.
What would you have on the T Hill?
I was gonna say also you got Bob Arum speaking to that very same point. A lot of people say Bob be capping. I don't recall him lying. He always tell the truth. People just don't listen to what he say. And he also, like what I said, that the fight has never been on the table. Neither was the fight ever on the table for Loma as well, too. But because people hate Tank so much and hate Floyd, they say, oh, well, Floyd said, I will threaten you with this. You keep acting up and this, and that. And that means, oh, well, Tank ducked or ran from a fight. That never, ever was ever in the mix. Especially at the time when they were in two separate weight divisions and classes. Well, but I mean, I will say this. With regards to Floyd and Tank, they got a dynamic relationship, no doubt about it. And they have both profited from one another. But I would say the greatest profit has been from Tank. Tank has profited big time because he's gotten A-class promotion, A-class training, A-class use of facilities, and the buzz of one Floyd Mayweather, who many people love and many even more people hate. And you ride the wisp of everything because everything is good publicity whenever it's being time to make a fight. And when they make a fight, you know that people are going to tune in. Tank Davis has great ability, and you win your skill. You win, to me, the true testimony of how good a fighter is their skill set. And he has one of the greatest skill sets in the game right now. I know he hasn't fought people that people want to him to fight,
So
and
you
that's where
basically,
legacy. Go ahead.
I didn't mean to interrupt. So you basically saying that he's like Earl Spence. They are creating him to be what he is, and he's not that.
Is
So
that what
that's what you
I'm
telling
saying?
me?
No, I'm
Okay.
saying he had a great push by people to make him bigger than what he would have been if he was on his own. I'm saying that happens in all walks of life. Everywhere you go, you're going to find somebody who took advantage of a great opportunity. And he fell into a great opportunity because he had the skill sets to back. Absolutely. I believe that he has the greatest skill set, especially of the lowest class division. That being the case, people going to remember him by the people he beat. So he definitely needs to fight. But he said he wanted to fight, so that will go a long way to helping him get the recognition that he needs. As far as like from people's point of view, but for him, he really don't care less about that stuff. All he care about is taking care of his people.
Salute to my
And to
man
that,
Bentley. Salute to my man Bentley on that appreciation, man, with a 9-piece. Like I said, we only look, it don't matter the number, man. We just looking for 2 more appreciations. It don't matter the numeral. It's just about us trying to help the channel grow. So shout out to my man Bentley, one of my most loyal subscribers, man. We appreciate you, man, for showing us some love with that 9-piece, man. My man,
and
go ahead, Tom.
my man said it don't matter the denomination. So you could be Catholic, you could be
I meant
Episcopalian.
numeration. I don't know, man. You know what I mean. It don't matter the amount.
I know
You
what
see,
you meant.
hey, you see,
I know what
Thomas Hill make you want to choke him like you Bart Simpson, man. He always got something
man.
crazy to say. He turn you into Homer messing with him, man. He turn you into Homer,
Nah,
man.
that's all love, man. Shout out to the homie Bentley, the higher standard. Appreciate the love offering, man. You know, we
He
take
said,
that in church. but yeah, so like there everybody has a point of a point, but like D Free said, it's always returning back to how business is conducted, especially in this sport. And unfortunately, the way it's conducted, sometimes we're not getting fights when we want them, if
I'm gonna just
ever.
keep it real with you. The reason we talk so much business is because of the Puerto Rican. Every time we talk about a fight, the Puerto Rican bring up the business. Every time we talk about a fight, so you got to blame D Free while we talking about the business all the time. Because
No,
as soon
I
as
don't.
No,
I don't.
but the,
I don't bring up the business. I look at what's stopping us from making this fight. I don't bring up the business. Sometimes the business is what stops us from them making a fight. I mean, you gotta look at the reason why fights doesn't happen. Now, it wasn't the business that stopped the Loma fight. It was Loma that stopped that. The business was working together. They was Al Heyman and Bob Erm. They was working together. They was locked in, ready to go. They was ready to announce the fight. And then all of a sudden, Loma said he needed to spend time with his family. So it's not always the business why the fight doesn't happen, but sometimes, and majority of the time, it is the business that's the reason why the fight doesn't happen.
I'm gonna say this though, I love how everybody try to say, salute to my man, Billy. He said, I don't have cash yet, but I'm trying. I appreciate you, man. Um, I think the thing that's so funny about Al Heyman, everybody say how he's so hard to work with, but Dana White, everybody that work with Al say he's a wonderful guy to work with. Everybody.
I don't know how they say Al Heyman is hard to work with when Al Heyman is the only one that's lending his fighters to other platforms to fight on. He's the only one that's lending his fighters to other platforms to fight on, but he's the one that's hard to work with. I don't see how that is.
I
yo,
think
and
it's
why we talk,
because Al Heyman got a big head, man. I think they don't like because he's a big head brother from Cleveland. But let me bring this up. I gotta bring this up. Shout out to Cleveland, man. We saving boxing again. We got Cleveland's own Logan Paul about to fight UFC 2 division champion legend Conor McGregor. How excited are you guys about that fight? And thank God for Cleveland again, man.
so in Cleveland, you known for con artists, huh? Con artists and breaking into
No,
niggas' homes, dog.
You said
you
how
got me bring.
excited
Hold on, I ain't brought this out all night. Now you got me bringing it out,
no, you
man.
said how excited are we for that fight? I'm more excited to pop this.
This is a sick Negro.
My bad.
No, I'm
My
more
bad.
I'm more excited to pop this pimple I got on the side of my face than to watch that fight. I'm not excited for that fight. Fight is
Who
not
else
a
is on
fight
that
that I'm,
card,
I'm
bro?
gonna. It's not a fight that I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm not watching it.
Free, we
Who
gonna
else on
cover
that
it.
card?
No, I don't care about the
Free,
fight.
free. You're not doing that corny stuff where you be protesting fights. You're not doing that. We're not
I'm
doing
not.
that. No,
I'm not protesting anything. I'm telling you, I'm
no,
not
on
watching
that. What
that
was
fight.
that fight we watched that you set silent on? Damn. Excuse my language. I can't think of it, but it was a fight we was doing, and this dude Free wouldn't say a word because he said he didn't want to see the fight, so he refused to say anything. I can't
Oh, you
remember
talking
what.
about the fight that y'all watched that I didn't watch?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That you just refused to say anything
Oh,
on.
you talking about the Bud Crawford David Avanesha?
Yep, yep. You
Yeah,
refused to watch the
I
fight.
didn't. I didn't care to see the fight. I still haven't watched the fight.
You a doggone commentator and you refuse to watch a
No,
fight.
that fight, no, the fight that I wanted to see was Bud Crawford versus Earl Spence. That's the
Yeah,
fight that I wanted to
and he
see.
robbed us of that moment, bro. He
And
used
I
that
had to.
fight as
You
leverage.
expect me? They was in negotiations to make that fight. He pulled out to
He
go
agreed.
fight David Avenija. You expect me to settle for that? No, I'm not watching that.
Nah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
but lost in that was the fact that he agreed too. He agreed to everything. Even
Yeah.
went on radio interview and said, "I agree. Didn't I agree to everything?" And
This
then
nigga
had
agree to
used.
everything, and then you fight David Avenija. No,
Yeah, that's
I'm not
crazy.
watching that. Y'all can go. Y'all can watch it. I'm not watching that. No, I'm not watching.
Yeah, that
I
was crazy.
still
I didn't
haven't gave
appreciate that.
BLK Prime any views for that fight. I still haven't gave him no views for that fight. I'm not watching that. Yeah, I go by what y'all tell me. Whatever y'all tell me, that's what happened in the fight. That's why they like, oh well, the glove was broken in the locker room. Well, they said the glove was broken in the locker room. I don't know.
Hey,
I didn't watch it. I'm going by what y'all told me.
hey, we seen the gloves explode. Thomas Seal had a fit.
Hey,
I,
he walked out there. No, but that to me, people can put that on Bud. Yeah, Bud is a great deal of responsibility, but they all saw that itch, bro. Like all of them saw it. The
you
ref, the
saw what
lady that
Billy
was
said.
the bench section.
Hold on, what do
He
you say?
said, Billy know damn well nobody cares about that fight.
Billy, I'm
Yeah.
from Cleveland. I gotta support the Cleveland dudes, man. We running boxing, man.
No,
We
it's
talking
not
about
that.
hold on, hold on.
The bad thing about it is it's not even Jake Paul. It's Logan Paul. He's a worse fighter than Jake.
Now, but you know what that will say? Because it will do well. It shows that my man got a handle on how to sell fights. People, I mean, your boy Bill Haney was out there campaigning for a new place to fight on. You might want to go check out MVP.
No,
This is what I want to know.
Jake Paul came out and said how much he hates Bill Haney, so that'll never happen.
This is what I want to know. They said I saw Michael Benson said something he put on Twitter that whoever wins this fight will make a
That Twitter
billion
is fake
dollars.
though. That Twitter, I think Turkey bought that
Oh, okay. I don't know, but
yeah,
I was like,
that's a
hold up,
spam thing now,
how the
yeah.
hell they gonna make $1 billion?
Yeah, Turkey bought Benson's Twitter about 2 months ago. Shout out to the angry white man. B1 was the one that turned me on to that pause. Yeah, that whole Twitter is a piece of trash, man. He sold his Twitter to
Oh,
Turkey and
I
them.
was like, what the hell? I'm like, ain't nobody buying that fight for them to make $1 billion. They be lucky if
Because you
they
know
get.
also what they did that people don't bring up. Now I'm not the one to protect Tank, but they did Tank dirty by trying to like undermine every fight that every venue he tried to go to. They would offer double. They would
Yeah.
offer double, and then when Tank would move on, they would keep following him around. Like they had a lawsuit they was going to do because Turkey was trying to sabotage Tank, man. And
So
I don't
so
care. Go ahead.
no, no, finish your thought. I got something to add to that stuff.
No, I just said I'll be honest. I don't necessarily care for Tank, but there's no way you should be able to do him like that. You trying to sabotage this man? He ain't did nothing to deserve that. He ain't did
Okay,
nothing to deserve that, bro.
so now that you admit it, bro, I mean, I just wanted to make sure that the people who say like Turkey is good for boxing, that's the tactics of somebody who's good for boxing. Then we in a whole lot of trouble. And boxing truly in a bad state if somebody can get away with doing some blood. It's like that.
Yeah, because they
Just to
was gonna
prolong the fight.
Leonard Ellerby was talking about going to the United States, what do they call it? The some type of immigration or some office he was talking about going to, because that's illegal to do that. That's illegal to do that. To do that. So they tried to. So that's why we didn't get the fight in Houston, because Turkey did everything he could to sabotage that fight. And I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. That was foul, bro. That was foul. Because no matter what, man, we want Tank to be able to get all the money he can, bro. It's just that simple, bro. I want to see him. I want to see him walk out of there with, like as my uncle say, I want them pockets to be so fat, just be so fat. He come out there like a king, bro. I want to see him get all the money. It's just that simple, because he seems like a nice guy. Everybody that I've ever heard or interviewed around him say nothing but good things about him. He just don't fight nobody. But Tank don't deserve to have somebody try to sabotage his career. That's some bush league stuff, in my opinion. What you think, T?
Well, I think this. One thing we sure to see, because he said so, and I'm going to hold him to it, is that whenever he walk up against that somebody named Tiafimo, he going to slap the dog sheep dip out of him. I'm holding to that.
He know better
That's
than
what he
that, man. He
said.
know better than
That's
that. And
what
I
he
don't even
said.
and I don't support Tio in any way, but Tio a dog him, man.
Hey,
Tio put
well,
Tio
hands
ain't
and feet on
dogging.
him.
Tio
that's
ain't
that's why
dogging
that's
nothing
why
but
we
the
got to get the fight.
daggone. Tio ain't dogging nothing but Josh Taylor.
Hold on, Free.
He
You said he
showed.
was gonna lose to Josh Taylor. So what you talking
I
about?
did thought he was going to lose
I
to
said he
Josh
was
Taylor.
too. I said he was too, bro. And Tio shocked the hell out of me, bro. I give him his props for that. But then
That's
he
why I
went
say
on
this
his.
about y'all brothers.
This is a sick Negro.
But then he went on that. I'm gonna make boxing great again mission, and then gave us Steve Claggett. Well, that was a good
Yeah,
fight. It was a good fight for the wrong reasons.
yeah. I mean,
And,
like I said, I did thought Josh Taylor was going to dog Tio, but I also know that Josh Taylor ain't the fighter, far as skill wise, as Tank Davis. So I can't say because he dogged Josh Taylor that he going to dog Tank. No. You know how much money I would make if I thought that was possible and it actually happened. I don't think it's possible. That's why I ain't betting on T.O. if they
Well,
do
I want a
fight.
bunch of money when he beat Josh Taylor because of people like you. So keep thinking that way.
Yeah.
well,
Let me see. Let me
congratulations
see.
to
Let
you,
me
bro.
see. Let me see how much you gonna bet on T.O. versus Tank then.
I'm gonna put 1,000 on Tio.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Bentley.
and you
Also
gonna
Bentley, man. My man Bentley. Don't forget to support the movement, man. We got them BBO edibles out there. You
Oh, there
know
you
what I'm
go.
saying?
you sick.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
sick.
If you want that shrimping and grits edition, we got that on lock
You a
too.
sick dude,
If
man.
you
You a
want that
sick dude.
fruity pebbles, we got that fruity pebbles too. Whatever your pleasure, my man can get you in a whole grams of measure, dog. So
Hey, and me
try
rushing,
this
I
will give
forgot
you
to do this, man. Shout out to Raycon.
shout out to Raycon.
Shout out to Raycon. I forgot all about our sponsor. I apologize. Go
That's
to
what I'm here for.
rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com. We should be getting our QR code. It's supposed to be here on Wednesday. So we're supposed to be getting our QR code. I believe it's going to be BVO 45. So go to Raycon Global, get your electric bikes, get your speakers. They got speakers as well as earphones for the gym, for gaming, whatever the case may be. We talking about some of the best quality. Been all over the world with this, so don't forget about the scooty bikes as well, the electric bikes. But go to rayconglobal.com. I appreciate our sponsors showing us some love, and definitely don't forget about the smoke shop. The smoke shop, if you're in the Akron area, right on West Market Street by the LeBron James Family Foundation headquarters, you'll see the smoke shop. So for all your cannabis, all your flower needs, make sure you stop by the smoke shop. And I'm done.
Hey,
Go ahead.
hey, and if you guys want that 50% discount, instead of BBO 45, put CDO 45 and
See,
you get that 50% discount, baby boy. You can't miss with
he's
this
sick,
with
man.
my man BBO. He gets
Hey,
you
my
there.
man said, BB, I won't ask on that 1,000. I'll take 250 on that tank. Hey, let's do it. We got 250 on tank, bro. And I want my money, man. I don't want you trying to run, man. I don't want you trying to
Nah,
run, man.
if I was you,
Because
man, I wouldn't advise that.
I
Tay
want
gonna have
money.
you
I
out there.
want money when my man Dub Right Side said that what's the dude's name? Jermaine Ortiz was gonna beat Tio.
He did beat
It's
Tio.
not gonna happen.
Your
Tio,
boy
I don't
Tio got
support
I
a
bet.
Tio
gift.
I bet you.
anyway.
I bet you didn't win no money when you thought Ryan was going to be Tank.
No, I lost about $100.
Exactly.
That's
That was
only
the
one.
dumbest bet you could make.
Man, I thought he was gonna stop him, bro. He hit him flush. I don't know. I don't know. Did they drug test Tank because he got hit flush a couple
You
times?
mean
Hey, real talk. You hit him flush about 6 or 7 times. Hey, that boy Ryan got that. He got that one hit quitter too.
Hey
I ain't gonna
man,
lie, boy.
they call him. They called Ryan P in the hood before he became a racist. What do you say? I got to see that one hit quitter. That one hit quitter, cuz.
Crazy, guy.
Hey, you know what's so funny? If you think about it in a way, people don't bring this up. People don't bring this up, but for a minute, Tio was like Melvin in a 135-pound division. He watching TV, Tank come in, he tell Tank, I got this for my man for free. I done cut up some folk, shot a couple niggas. Cut up some folk. Got this from my man for free. So shout out to Tio, man. Like I said, he was running 135-pound division like he was Melvin, man. With Tank
Hey,
in
shout
it.
out
So
to Tio. Shout out to Tio. Shout out
he
to
said
all
we
these
locked
cats, man.
BBO.
Yeah,
It's a
man. No, what you said? T.O. was doing what?
He said he was running
I
the
say he was like
division.
Melvin.
Are you talking about he was scared?
Oh, what was Melvin scared? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about T.O. I'm talking about T.O. was scared
When was he
because
scared? He's someone he
no,
had
that
Devin
man.
scared.
No,
See, I don't
I
support
saw.
Tio, man. You gonna have me
See this.
support him, man.
Let's break it down with T.O. Let's break it down. That man had one fight in Richard Comey. He won that fight, became the IBF champion. The very next fight, he fought Loma. The very next fight, he lost to Cambosa and got up out of the daggone division. What are you talking about?
He couldn't make the weight free.
What are you talking about? He was running the division. What are you talking about? That man had 2 fights. He had 2 fights at the top of the division, and he was out.
No, because he
Man had 2
fought
fights.
Nakatani. You forgetting that he fought Nakatani, man.
Nakatami wasn't the top of the division.
Yes, he was. Back then, he was.
Not according to you, he was.
Not
According to
according to
me,
me. According to the IBF, he was number 3.
yeah, number 3. He wasn't the top of the division. He was number 3 in the IBF. In the IBF, he was number 3.
It was an IBF tournament free. What are you talking about?
He was number 3 in the IBF. That's not the
And
division.
Tio was number 2.
The IBF is not the entire division.
I'm talking about when he became champion. So you're not facing. You don't want to talk about the facts.
You said he was running the division. You said he was running the division. I said that man had 2 fights at the top of the division, and he was out. That was it. He had Loma, and then he tried to defend his unifications against Cambosa and got beat. That's it.
So
You a hater, freak.
I'm just telling you what it is. You make it seem like he was beating everybody at 135. He beat
Nakatani. He beat Richard Comey. He beat Loma.
I give you 3 guys. He beat 3 guys in the entire division. He beat 3 guys of note in the entire division.
At that time, that was pretty much the cream of the crop at Top Rank. Those guys he beat.
At Top Rank, I like how you said at Top Rank. I like how you said at Top Rank. Because that wasn't the cream of the crop at 135, but that was the cream of the crop at Top Rank.
Who was he missing, man? Who was he missing from that? At that point, those were the guys.
It was the cream of the crop at Top Rank, not at 135. It was the cream of the crop at Top Rank.
Devin was part of the technical cream of the top. And Devin.
Don't let BBO say and try to lie. We already know that he was talking about Top Rank. He wasn't talking about the actual division because he just said Top Rank. That was the cream of the crop.
Hold on. Billy just dropped some jewels on. He said, "Who has a better career?"
Who has a better career as far as what?
Tio and Tank.
Tank got a better career.
Okay. Stop.
Tank got a better career.
We're not counting money for. We talking about legacy, man.
No, I'm talking about Tank has a better career.
He fought better guys than Tio did.
So
Tank has a better career.
Wow.
Well, when you start your career,
that man is a 5-time champion. He's a 3-division champion. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3-division champion. He's a 5-time champion and a 3-division champion.
He ain't never beat nobody. He never beat nobody, bro.
See, I like how you guys say it.
Leo Santa Cruz is nobody.
Leo ain't better than Lomachenko, dog. Stop it. Loma will stop Leo.
Loma never fought him. Loma could have proved that.
Loma fought Pedraga after Tank beat Pedraga. So Pedraga is nobody. Leo Santa Cruz is nobody.
Hold on. Didn't Loma beat the heck out of Gary Russell Jr., who was a monster at 126? You forgot?
We said that's 126.
He didn't beat the heck out of him.
You asking me who has a better career between Tio and Tank? Why are you talking about Loma?
Because beating Loma was a huge win, bro.
Okay,
at like 23.
Okay, he beat Loma.
At 23.
Name the top guys that Tio's beat.
Lomachenko, Richard Comey, Josh Taylor,
top guy. What you
He
call
was
him
a
when he
freaking
stopped down?
champion. Free. What are you talking
Yeah, he was a
about?
champion. He's a champion,
But
but he got
bet,
to top down.
Go
but
ahead.
bet,
Go ahead.
when he fought him, he wasn't the same co-man. You know that, bro. And
Hold
that's
on,
no
bro. He
shade
was
to Tio.
champion, dude. What are you doing?
He
Dog.
wasn't the same co-man, man.
So
I'm
when
sorry.
people talk about T.O. resume, who are the guys that they talk about on his resume?
Mama and Josh Taylor.
They talk
You
about Josh
remember when
Taylor
the
and who else? Josh
I
Taylor
said
and
Loma.
Loma.
That's
Yeah.
what I just
So they
said.
talk about two guys. That's it. Two guys.
The #1 guys, though.
No, it's two. It's only two. You act
Two
like it's
Hall of
four.
Famers.
Bunch. No, he beat two guys. He
you
beat two
remember
guys.
when the Bulls beat the Pistons?
He beat two guys,
Yeah, bro.
dog.
The Bulls beat the Pistons. When
When
they
just
beat the
now?
Pistons, nah, dog, come on, bro. I'm talking
No,
about when the Pistons was running things, dog. When they beat them, the Pistons was old and they was in their rite of passage, dog. They was taking over the top spot. It wasn't the same Pistons team that used to whoop them. Matter of fact, that swept them. And to a certain degree, it
I mean,
wasn't the
they had
same.
lost Rick Mahorn and a couple other people, so they had lost some pieces.
Yeah,
yeah.
but they were older too. They weren't in their very best prime when they played. So, the Chicago Bulls found it easier, being that they had some heavy hitters in their squad, dispatching them. But they were playing against champions. It's just the
But
champions had past their prime.
the thing is, when you base off of somebody's career, who's had success, who has the better success based off their career, what do you base their career off? The names on their resume, their accomplishments, and the money they're made. That's what you base the success of their
Dude,
career.
bro,
That's how
Free,
you
man.
base the success.
This is the
No,
thing. Free, you gonna make me.
how you base success in your career? By
You
getting
base it. You
Exactly.
base
promotions,
it off the
by getting
accomplishments that you
promotions,
have.
and by getting promotions, and by
Right.
getting how much money you made with your career. That's how you
Right.
base success in your career. So how do you base success in any career? By the accolades that you get and by the money you make. That's how you base success in your
Free. He
career.
got all that.
Who got all of that?
Who?
Who
T.O.
got
pretty
all of
much
that?
got all that stuff, bro.
T.O.'s
He
never made
only
$1
made.
million. He's never made $1 million.
He never do. He never
That's why
made.
he made the
Deontay
Black
Wilder
Fight.
didn't make big money like that until he fought Tyson Fury. It's
Who
kind of
made
hard
it?
to find a dance partner.
Who? Deontay Wilder?
No, what I'm saying is Deontay Wilder didn't make the kind of money he made until he found Tyson Fury. T.O.
Yeah.
never
So
had a
see,
Tyson Fury,
but y'all said Loma was the best guy in the best guy for him to fight. He
but
was
he
the
beat him,
number one. Okay, he was the number one guy. He beat the number one guy.
and then he
Why
wouldn't give
hasn't
him
he
a
made?
rematch for it because they had millions on the table for the next fight, and T.O.'s ego messed that up.
So
Well,
the
Tio ego in
downfall
the
of
fact.
so basically what you're telling me is the downfall of his career is his own doing.
I would say the downfall of what's some of the stuff that happened to him in the first half is definitely his own doing.
Okay, so you can't tell me that he's had a better career than Tank Davis. When people say
Because he didn't
who
make
has
the
a
money
better,
that Tank has made.
okay. When people say who has a better career, Sugar Ray Leonard or Floyd Mayweather, more people going to say Floyd Mayweather because of the money that he made. They both
But
fought guys that's in the Hall of Fame. They both became multi-division champions. They both fought the top guys in their divisions. Who had a better career based off of success is Floyd Mayweather because of the money he made.
T Hill,
The thing is,
so money means everything. T Hill.
okay, so why is the fighter not the boss? Let me ask you that. Why these people work for the fighter, but the fighter got to do what the people that work for them say? Why is that?
That's because the mics run the lions in boxing. That's how it's been for a long time.
The mics. So
It's
you
an
say the
old
people that
saying that
got
the
the
mics
bread?
runs the
Yeah,
lions.
yeah. I got you. So you say the people that got the bread, right?
Yeah.
Not the actual talent, but the niggas that's backing the talent or putting the bread up for the talent. That lets you know right there. Everything you see on TV, you see it because people are putting up bread for it. So bread is very important. Now to me, What's important to me is what you say and how you conduct yourself. Now, this nigga said he was gonna fight these names. I want to see him fight these names. That's it. That's all. And I don't care how big they are, what weight they gotta be at. I'm not that fan. I'm that fan that said you wanted to fight, and I believe you're gonna mock them anyway. So fight them. And when they get the opportunity, they can't be trying to say, "Well, no, it's not beneficial for me," or "Nah, it's not right now. I got other plans, bro." They got to get in that ring.
I ain't see this comment. That boy B3 or no. He said TO5 active at
Give
K
give give,
135.
give
Hey,
B3 the link. Give
I'm gonna tell you,
B3 the link.
I'm gonna tell you something, Bentley. The only reason why Floyd fought 23 world champions is because Floyd kept dropping his belt. Floyd never lost, so he should have never had to fight 23 champions because he was only unified one time. So he shouldn't have had
Hey,
to fight 23 champions. The only reason why he fought 23 champions because he kept dropping the belt and going back,
peep gang,
picking the belt back up.
peep gang, and also back then, in order for you to feed your family, to avoid walking at Walmart like my man Bill Haney, Frill Bill said about somebody, I won't say their name, is by fighting, dog, because fighting paid you a lot more handsomely than what's the name. So they was fighting a
Oh yeah,
lot
that's
more
that's my
often because
homeboy. He was talking about it, so we could say his name. Shout out to Manager Marty, man. He went
yeah,
to
shout out Manager
Tarjay,
Martin.
went to Walmart. I think he even went to we went to Five Guys and was showing Marty's picture. Where have you seen him?
Yo, ain't while we speaking on that, ain't Manager Marty a brother?
Yeah.
So now, if Ellie Setback would have did that to them, would he be as mad as he was when Ellie Setback just was showing sparring sessions of him and his son, dog? Come on, bro. Like, let's get real, bro. Let's get really real.
Hey
B3,
man,
let's get real.
you like my boy light skin, man. Y'all always trying to hit Bill with some facts, man. Let him just be stupid, man. It's good for the
Oh no,
sport.
Bill, my God. Bill funny as hell, bro. I like Bill. But I just
I
want Bill to
mean,
keep it real, man. I don't like when you denigrate our
it's
people and
impossible
then
for him
try
to
to.
keep it real, dog. It's impossible. It's impossible.
But
One thing I've
anyway, man.
one thing I've learned
Anyway,
about Bill Haney is that he all he can do is lie. I was
hey,
watching something where he was saying that he said Devin Haney's a face of boxing. I said, when?
he the new face, baby. He the new face. Shout out to the new face of boxing. I still say that, when it comes to commanding views and like when you identify boxing, most people gonna say Canelo because that's what they know.
Oh yeah, Shane Mosley was a monster, Bentley. At
Yeah,
135. I
Shane.
mean,
Yeah,
if it weren't for
Shane
Vernon
Mosley.
Forrester, he would get way more credit. Vernon Forrester just messed him up. I don't know why he kept fighting that idiot, but he did. So
Yeah, you can't call that man an idiot.
I don't mean idiot. Like I'm just saying, I don't know why he kept fighting him. That's what I mean when I say I
Hey,
don't
I
mean
will
idiot.
say
Literally.
in that first fight, that headbutt shifted that fight. But the second fight, he beat the
Yeah, no, Shane Mosley was a monster at 135. It's just
Shane Mosley, my God, dog. And what that man Floyd did to Shane Mosley, and no other fight do I ever give Shane more props than that. I mean, Floyd more props than that fight, dog. Because in that fight, he took a person who had found successful one thing, and he took that one thing away. And after that, my man was trying to find it's that one thing. He was on his Anne Marie status then. He was trying to get back to that one thing. And Floyd changed it up. And this is the thing I wanna make mention and draw a parallel to the Devin Haney fight. Because Devin Haney was winning the fight by all intents and purposes. When Floyd was getting his ass handed to him by Shane, the thing he noticed was that he was setting up that big right hand with a two little tap drag. So on that second tap, my man shot a left every single time to check it, but also to get him to block and take that right hand away. And thus, it changed the whole complexion of the fight. You segue all the way to modern day, 420. You can see there's footage of my man Derrick James training him to parry that jab with the left hook. And when he did it in that one, what was that, the third round? No, it was the sixth round, I think.
Yeah.
the 6th round, that changed the whole complexion of the fight. Because at that moment, my man Dev knew he couldn't just jab no more. The way he normally fights, the way that they say, quote unquote, he did not fight, he fought all the way into that moment. And at that moment, he knew he couldn't do that no more because that quick jab, that quick hook beat his quick jab. Or I should say his bow and arrow jab. And from that point forward, he had to find a different game plan. And there was nobody in the corner to give him any kind of adjustments. And he didn't have it in himself to make that adjustment. So that's ultimately what changed the fight.
Well, let me say this real quick. I want to introduce my man B3. He got his own little thing when he come here.
This is a sick Negro.
What's up, B3?
Salute, BBO. Hey, that's the funniest meme right there. Shout out to T Hill. Shout out to D Free. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I just hopped on. It said I had to hop on. BVO tried to set me up every time I hop on. He tried to put the black man against the black man, and he want us in fighting and stuff, man. You gotta watch out for guys like BVO.
Now you talking like BV. I hear you talking. That boy talking like nah. But you, my brother, I love you, man. It's okay.
So let me just speak on pretty much what's going on today. Like, what's the topic of the conversation, BVO? Like, what you asking the people?
We listening to my man D Free, Puerto Rican Free, says that
he's breaking it down.
He was basically talking about that Tank got a better resume than Tio, and I just wanted to know what
I
was he smoking.
I never said Tank Davis had a better resume than Tio.
Or career, my mistake.
Who has a better career?
My mistake.
That's 100% accurate because Tio's resume is souped up by overhyped whites. Guys. No, seriously.
This is a sick Negro.
Talk to him, baby boy.
It's the Great White Hope situation. How this guy Lomachenko got whipped up by Salido, had 17 fights, but before he even had 3 fights, this guy Bob Arum gonna call him a Hall of Famer, say he on the level of Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. He's crazy. He's out his damn mind. With Josh Taylor had just got beat by Jack Catterall and got a gift decision on a top rank card. And then both of the guys that they fought Tio, they was out of the ring for 16 months before they fought Tio. So outside of those 2 wins, really his best win, is Jermaine Ortiz. Let's keep it a stat. Come on, man. He not messing with no Tank
beating that bum. Stop, man. That's what they said about you, B3.
Okay? You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy. Okay? Are you? Absolutely.
You're not that guy, man.
I got Tank as a better resume. Tank held 3 belts simultaneously at once. He also beat a 4-time. Oh, excuse me. He beat a 4-division champion, Leo Santa Cruz. Stopped him with 1 punch. He also stopped a 2-division champion, Mario Barrios. He stopped Rolly, who some people could call him. He's a 1-division champ. I'm not even gonna put that on the airways, but come on. But the only thing the consistency is this is what I put in. I put in the quality of opponent, and I also put in the method in which you dominated them. Tio is getting some close. He has some close victories. I think his athleticism allows people to view his performances in such high regard. And dare I say, he also may be getting some of that. He might be getting incorporated into the made up white culture, everybody included type
he got
of
some
vibes.
assimilation. He got some assimilation.
You got no guts. You got no class. You got no responsibility. You are an abuse of power, and you can believe it. You're an asshole.
That's all I can say.
Face Mountain.
That's all we can say, man.
You know BVO's a sick nigga.
This nigga BVO's a slick Negro.
Yeah. No, did it.
Hey, all I can say, you know what's so funny? I guarantee y'all don't know who that is that's saying that.
So you talking about that? Sound like my man Space Mountain. And if you don't know who Space Mountain is, that's cool man Rick Flair, baby.
No, I'm talking about who said this is a sick Negro. Y'all don't know who that is.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah.
know who it is, but it looked like Paul Mooney. But I don't know who it is.
You sick, man. Oh man. That's Khalil Muhammad, man. Khalid Muhammad.
oh, yeah, I heard that dude is funny.
No, he not no singer, bro. He not
I
no
didn't say
singer.
he was a singer.
This is a sick Negro.
Hey, I gotta ask y'all this since Bill dropped the Bill said that Dev
He
should be
dropped the
back by
mixtape.
April. Yeah, he back on the mixtape tour. Who y'all think will be a good opponent, or who y'all thinking might be an opponent? What's y'all thoughts for April?
For Devin,
Yeah,
Ronald
um,
McDonald.
a a good opponent, a good opponent would be Tio. The opponent
Okay.
that I think that they would fight, I think they would look at somebody with not as much as a puncher
right.
to build up Devin's confidence because I don't care what nobody say, his confidence needs to be built back up.
Yeah,
But I think they probably will fight somebody that's
Boy,
a lesser puncher to build his confidence back up.
no, I can agree with that.
Who was that in that picture, B3 that you got?
I got a Teofimo Senior. Well, excuse me. I got Teofimo. I got Junior. I got Trey. I got Junior Lopez, and then I got the Team Juice crew. Eddie Reynoso, the Juice Man himself.
this
Oh
man's
wow.
funny.
Yeah, I called
Only
him
Juice Man I know
Eddie.
is OJ the Juice Man.
Nah, well that's Eddie the Juice Man.
Oh, you don't know about the dude with the eyebrow? Remember he had the machine, the Juice Man machine? He had the he had the
No.
eyebrows. You don't remember that dude? He was big.
When he had that song, where the Yabs at? We looking for the Yabs. That's the only one I know is OJ the Juice
Juice
Man.
Man.
I
Remember
got
he slammed
I
he
got a question
slammed
for
it.
BVO.
Yes.
Can you name a guy in Reynoso team that hasn't popped positive for performance enhancer or banned substance?
You pretty sick dude, man. Pretty
This
sick
is
guy.
a slick Negro.
Yeah, that silly Negro.
So and Tio hasn't gotten. Let me ask you this: since we talking a little
What's
Tio
that?
today, Tio versus Matias BVO. How you think that fight will play out?
I think Tio is just shows that he's a great fighter, man. About to fight a Godzilla type guy. I think he gonna try to walk him down. Tio gonna counter punch him to death. I mean, Tio come on looking like the Muppet Man, but he's gonna win a nice decision because he gonna counter him to death, man. Because that
Yeah,
dude is tailor made for Tio. He tailor made for Tio. You know what's so funny? That's the same dude who, when he had his title, was ducking Tio, talking about, "I hurt my hand." Blah blah. How the heck you hurt your hand, man? Stop. He just didn't want no Tio
Nah,
to.
you know what? I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I don't think that fight goes well for T.O. Because I think that's the same fight that your boy Claggett fought. And we saw what Claggett was able to do. What did my man get to do that, dog?
Hold up. This nigga BBO, hold up. I'm not gonna let BBO get away with that. He trying to be disingenuous. He talking about some how he hurt his hand. He had like Matias said that after Tio offered him to fight. Matias said that weeks before Tio offered him to fight. Let's get it straight. Tio offered him to fight because he heard that Matias hurt his hand.
Uh, that's a guy. That's a guy that Tio will
That's a
fight all
fact.
day, every day. A dude that's gonna run to him.
Well, we're about to see what's going to happen in the fight if they go ahead and make that fight. We want to
I
see.
Well,
ask you
ain't
this:
that?
so when he beats Matias, will he get credit?
Hell yeah.
I, I no, I would give Tio props for beating Matias. I'm not saying Matias no bum.
Hell yeah.
You the
You
only one
never gave him
that
props
said
for Josh
Matias is
Taylor. That's
not
what I'm
that dude.
asking.
Yeah, I'm not giving him no credit. He needs to be the black guy, the guy that the guys he pause, the guys he fantasize about, the guys that's always on his mind.
Nah,
The
he don't
guys that he.
finna.
No did it. I said no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
This is a sick Negro.
That man said pause, player. He said pause. He played your
Nah,
game,
but he
dog.
nah,
Play
but
your
I mean
game.
that's just real T Hill. Like I don't know. Granted, I'm being a little I'm just being a little facetious. I think beating Matias is a good win for T.O., but I'm not under the impression that that's not what the fans asked for. That's not who he been calling for. He wanted to put his hands on a black fighter, so I think he needs to do that. Like a Hitchens, a Devin, somebody a Norman Jr., and then the fans can start looking at T.O. like, yeah, you're in our respect. You talking that talk and you walking that walk.
Well,
Go ahead,
go
T.
ahead, baby boy. Nah, go ahead. That's your guy, so go on and
I
defend
just
it.
think, man, Matias is black. What else can you ask for? I mean,
Hey, BVO, Brown. We come on, baby. These is that's your family, so you know,
he's sick, man.
you know more than anybody the separation.
He's sick.
It's your family, player.
I
Your
mean,
family.
Nah, I love all the I love all people and stuff like that. And I just be shooting the shit. But it's in boxing, it's definitely race. It's a lot of race infighting with fans and people want to see, people from their walk of life do good. Um I just think T.O. need to give the people what we want to see. We want to see him versus Hitchens. We want to see him versus Norman Jr. And of course, once Devin is ready to get back in the ring, versus Devin Haney.
Fact, you could have saw that. We still can, hopefully. You know,
we'll
I
never get
want, I
that
want.
fight, man. I'll tell you that right now. Devin is
Well,
scared to death.
it's on the table, baby boy. So let's hope it stays. Also, I want to say, my man, he has a problem with us people because us people, unfortunately, at a Christmas party, went a little nuts on the girl dog, and he
Oh,
couldn't stand.
you
So,
sick, man.
so
You sick. Y'all brothers keep saying that his girl went to a Mandigo party. That's crazy.
and BBO no, because he got connections. He just don't want to. He don't want to like shame his idol, his favorite fighter, so to speak. So,
I
but
just don't
yeah.
understand. I just don't understand why people keep bringing that up, man. That's foul, bro. That's nasty work.
It was Diddy work, dog. His dad, his wife got Diddy by some brother, dog. She can't take it. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So T Hill, man. Sometimes you talk to T Hill, man, he definitely live on the pause button when you around T Hill, man.
You think so?
Yeah, you always got that
I'm a
pause button
grown
when you
man
talk.
that love the beauty that a woman possesses, dog. I have no thoughts of a man, dog. Matter of fact, when you was over there doing podcasts up in your damn nooks and crannies, dog, having yourself laid up in the bed, nobody said nothing to you but take your ass to sleep, dog. That's all we said, bro. Look at you, dog. You the one that fantasized with the Paul. You
You a
said it was
wild
a game.
you a wild boy, man.
I never hit the pause button, dog. I'm all play.
You said I'll never hit the
Fast
pause.
forward, rewind, but not pause, dog.
But on that note, man, we getting ready for tomorrow. We getting ready for our award show, man. Don't forget to check out my man Crush the Legend, man. It's your boy BBO. We doing the BVO network, man. We doing our thing, man. Salute to everybody that supported. Salute to my man Bentley. We didn't quite hit our appreciation goal. We hit one. We was too short, but you can always make it up on the playback. So if you guys want to support the channel, man, you can definitely do that. Just hit that cash app if you want. It's no problem. Like I said, you can hit that goal after we get out of here, man. So if you watching on the playback, like, comment, subscribe. It's your boy BBO. It's your boy Pimp C, aka Tommy. It's your boy, the light skinned lover, aka B3. And of course, we got the Puerto Rican Prince in the house, my man D3. And on that note, we out of here, y'all. Peace.
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 No did it. I said.
Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO.